I'll get you to close your eyes.
Okay.
And don't open them until I tell you.
Okay. This feels like those blind date shows, you know, where your date gets revealed.
Can I peep?
No? All right.
I can't wait.
3, 2, 1. Open them.
OMG, that's me.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh. Wow. Oh, wow.
It's kind of strange, to see yourself.
It's me.
And it's accurate.
Welcome to Arn's Brush with Fame.
You know, I've just always lived such an extraordinary life. I have followed my dreams and believed in myself and challenged the status quo since just as long as I can remember. I'll take you way back into grade 4. So I was 9 years old, and they were doing a reading assessment at school. And we did reading, and then all of a sudden there was 3 very clear groups. There was the small group that was an extension group. You could tell just by the nature of the kids that were in there, and they were all high performers, high achievers. And then there was a majority of the students were in group 2, which was, just I guess quote unquote normal students, what they would be. And then there was a smaller group at the end that were kids that might have a little bit of challenging academics or challenging with learning. And I was placed in group number 2 with a lot of, the main part of my cohort, my class. And I remember going up to the teacher. I was 9 years old. And I went up to the teacher and I said, "You've put me in the wrong group. I am supposed to be in that group." And I pointed to the extension group. And I'll never forget her face. And she just looked at me. I don't know, she thought, who is this 9-year-old? Or this 9-year-old is courageous, or whatever she thought. But good on her. She said, "Then that's where you should be." And she put me in that group. And that's the youngest one I can really remember, just challenging the status quo and really trusting in myself and following my dreams. I can take you back to another circumstance. Back to the early 90s, and I grew up in a really small town, and they built their very first IGA that we ever had, and everyone was so excited. It's a new IGA, and I wanted to work in the deli department. So there was this big, expo, and everyone went to go and have interviews, and I was so excited. And I, went for the interview process, and then I got a phone call, and they said, you didn't make it. And I remember just thinking, I just can't believe it, but I really wanted it. And, I believed in myself, and I know I can do really good, and I know I can be a real asset to them. So I went back, and I remember walking through, knocking on doors, and I got to the hiring manager, and I said, "I think you should give me another chance. I think I would be really, really good for this company." And just by luck of chance, she happened to have another spare opening of someone who didn't take the position, and she hired me. And she said later on that it was, she was so grateful and fortunate that I had the courage to, come and be persistent. As I take you on this journey, I think of, when I really started to get into sales, and the reason why I was so, exceptionally good at sales was because, I never just took what the order was. I always pushed and asked for more. I remember even my customers kind of saying to me, like, "Is there anything else you want, Nicole?" Because I would just, if I got an order, I would ask for more, or, can I have this feature night, and can I put more displays here, and can I do a staff incentive, and what else can I do? I just always dreamt really big, and I always just wanted to think outside the box. And I've always been very creative, and I never just took what was there. I always wanted to make it bigger and better, and I'm okay sitting in that uncomfortableness and being courageous enough to have a crack. Like, in sales, sometimes you have to sit there awkwardly with your customers, and you have to be tenacious, and you have to really push and drive for more. And that's why I was really good at sales. As a further progression goes on, I remember when I was on maternity leave with Juliet, with my second daughter, and I just happened to be meeting for a beer catch-up with one of the managers, and he had said that there was a learning development role posting that had just closed, and he's like, "Oh, you have been great for it. I didn't even think about contacting you." And what I did, I made a phone call, and I asked if they could reopen the closing date, because I would love to apply. And I was very fortunate enough to get into the learning and development space, and I was hired as a commercial sales trainer. And that exponentially changed my career, my path. And I'm very fortunate for that. It comes to my time at Lion when I came back, and this is where, I really captured the evolution of Nicole Walshe, because this is where I really have had the best growth, and I've seen me develop and become something that I never even imagined. And I keep pushing the boundaries, and I keep trying new things. And I really connect that to my key questions. I'm a massive lover of key questions. And they might not be the most polished sounding, but I can tell you, every single day when I drive home, I ask myself my key question. And that started in 2017. Did I back myself? Confidence was a really big thing for me, and I needed to build up who I was. And that, really transformed into being brave and being courageous. Every single year I've gone and I've transformed, and the evolution of Nicole Walshe has taken me to where I am today, where I asked, did I disrupt? Did I disrupt the way that people think? The way they look at something, or the views, or how they've done something, the way they've learned. If there's a way for me to weave an analogy in there that they never even thought possible, I want to disrupt the norm. I'm really excited for this next adventure, and I really want to stay at Lion, and I believe I am truly a good asset for Lion. I love this company, and I'm excited to see where the next adventure will be for me.